We're covering all the sides of this story tonight. Our Adam Longo is taking a closer look at the ongoing problems in this neighborhood highlighted by local leaders.
Yeah, but we want to begin with our Katie Lusso. Katie, you just learned some brand new details about the girl who was struck by that bullet today in class. What do you know?
Well, tonight I spoke with a few people who know her, and they told me she's a great young lady with a bright future ahead. Now, police used the phrase today that she's going to be okay. But let's be clear, this young lady is going to be dealing with serious trauma, as are the other kids in her class and in her school. Tonight, MPD has confirmed they are reviewing a number of videos that captured the shooting, including this one. We do want to warn you, the video is graphic. Just before 10 o'clock this morning, gunfire erupted along Kirby Street in Northwest. A closer look shows the car the gunfire came from. And across the street, people shooting back at the car from the sidewalk. A terrifying situation for neighbors.
Was loud and continuous.
Like brah, and then it went like a lot of like pops, probably like 4 extra pops after that.
But even more horrifying for students inside Dunbar High School. One of the bullets came through this window and grazed a 17-year-old girl's head.
At Dunbar High School, bullet came through the window.
Our teacher put the blinds on the doors, told us to get away from the windows.
Parents rushing to the scene to find the school on lockdown, fearing the worst.
We didn't know what was going on at the time.
Frustrated to hear their kids were exposed to such violence in school.
It's frustrating because you send your kids to school thinking they're okay, and then this happens. I wasn't even away from the school a whole hour, and this came on the news.
Police are now searching for the people responsible for injuring a teenage girl.
At this time, we believe there was an exchange of gunfire in that block amongst individuals. However, the motive remains unknown.
And wreaking havoc on this neighborhood in the middle of the day.
That's really upsetting.
So the principal of Dunbar High School told parents this afternoon that DCPS crisis response team, along with the school's counselors, social workers, and psychologists, will be available to students next week to offer any help they may need when it comes to coping with what unfolded. In the meantime, if you have any information about the shooters, police want to hear from you.
And they're going to need a lot of that help. I was texting a Dunbar High School teacher earlier tonight, and he says he's just frustrated because it keeps happening to this school, to their students. They've lost so many students over the years to violence in the surrounding neighborhoods, and then you have an incident like this, a student sitting in their first period class and shot. You know, how do you get around something like that?
Just sort of compounding the trauma that's already there. All right, Katie, obviously we will continue to stay on this story, and you know, it's really hard to stomach